On Sunday morning last, a crowd of overgrown boys sought enjoyment in disturbing the neighborhood on the upper portion of East 6th Street with a giant powder explosion. It was about 2 o'clock when 4 or 5 minors were observed going up the street, and their equilibrium was seriously impaired by bad liquor, which they had been swilling during the night and up to an early hour in the morning. They had evidently premeditated some devilry, for the giant powder and its companion, several yards of fuse, is not to be had upon every corner and at every hour of the night. At the hour mentioned, there was a terrific explosion from the center of the street that shook the foundations of the buildings as if they were sandhills, and the occupants, springing from their beds, were convinced that they had been visited by the jar of an earthquake. In a few minutes, everyone was up, and while some only appeared in their boots and trousers, others looked like ghosts walking around in the darkness. After quite a protracted search, a man stumbled into a hole some 4 or 5 feet in depth in the middle of this road, and uttering an alarm, the crowd ran to his assistance. He was pulled out, and a light having been secured by this time, the cause of the morning explosion was visible. There were 2 or 3 yards of fuse lying near the hole, besides the charred remains of the match that had evidently been employed in the fiendish work. The windows in several houses were shattered to pieces. In Mr. William Clark's home, number 519 East 6th Street, the panes were shattered from the windows, as was also those in Mr. Folson's residence. The glass in the front of Davis's notion store, which was upon the opposite side of the street, was also broken out and showered the sidewalk. Whether the fellows were conspiring against the life and interest of any particular resident in that vicinity, or whether it was a fiendish plan for a 4th of July celebration, is something that is not known. Had they been discovered, however, in their work, a severe lesson would have been imparted to them. This is the second case of this nature within the past week, and should the authors of the disturbance be apprehended, they will rigidly be dealt with. The hole that was torn up by the powder is almost large enough to receive an ordinary coffin, and reminds one of an infant earthquake. Leadville Weekly Democrat, September 3rd, 1881.